was open. Okay, thank you. I was looking around here and I saw a couple of faces that I'm not sure I wanted to. I'm not saying any names, Priester. Great victory. You know, look, it means a lot. It's a rivalry game, but it's our rivalry game at Notre Dame. I know there's a lot of teams that play us and consider it a big rivalry, and certainly I understand why. But this is our game, and it means a lot. It means a lot to our kids. It means a lot to our university, everybody associated with it, you know, to come out victorious feels really good. There was a lot of preparation. They're very difficult to defend, as you know, and we needed to see our offense mature, which I thought tonight was probably that first step that where we felt from the start of the game to the end of the game, the offense began to come together in the manner that we wanted it to. We played faster. We put Jack in a position where the ball came out quick. We gave him quick, definitive run-pass reads, and it really seemed to give us the kind of offensive flow that we're looking for. I think he was 20 for 28. And then Kyron Williams ran with, you know, just an attitude that was pervasive throughout the entire offense. So really proud of our football team. You know, Kyron was somebody to talk about, but, you know, from a defensive standpoint, you know, DJ Brown steps in for Kyle Hamilton, who goes down early and does a really fine job for us. He did that last year against UNC as well. So I think it's time we start recognizing, you know, a really solid football player for us in what DJ has done for us. And I was really impressed with Tariq Bracey's play. He played physical for the first time, and I mentioned him to our team. He bullied some receivers out there today and getting off blocks. Came up with the big fumble and sack at the end of the game. He played the way I was hoping he would play when he came in as a freshman. And so it's great to see a player play his best football in his fourth season. So really, really proud of him tonight. And then this was our best performance of 5 guys playing together on the offensive line. So I'll shut up and let you guys ask the questions.
Got questions? Raise your hand. We'll get you the mic. We'll start back here with Tyler James.
Brian, Kyron Williams certainly never lacks energy out there, but did he play with a little more edge tonight, knowing that Chris wasn't going to be able to go for you guys?
Yeah, I don't know if that had, Tyler, much to do with it other than this was an important game for him as well, and we, you know, we knew that we were going to ride him. You know, he had Diggs available and Sebo was available, but, you know, you kind of sensed during the week that he was going to put this on his back. So I think he went into this game knowing, you know, with Chris not available, that he was going to get the kind of carries that he was going to get a chance to influence the game, I guess.
And the tempo of the offense, how much did you see that sort of affect USC? I know obviously it's something that you feel like Jack is comfortable with, but you think it also put the defense maybe a little bit off balance as well?
Yeah, well, certainly they weren't expecting, you know, hurry up Jack to be out there. He's been less than that all year. So it still was about matching personnel for them. And so when we were in 12 and 13, you know, they were trying to match personnel. Jack was still on the field and we were playing fast. So it was certainly something that they weren't prepared for, but they were prepared to move personnel in and out of the game regardless because they wanted to match our 11 personnel with their nickel personnel.
Kyle Hamilton's prognosis, what do you have initially? What
Pinched fat pad on the knee, no structural damage. You know, prognosis is really good.
And then Isaiah Pryor was playing a little bit of safety, I believe. Is that
Yes.
something he was prepared for? Was that an emergency situation?
Well, we were in dime, so we're playing three safeties. So, I don't think it's something that, when we look at the depth chart, you won't see him on Monday as another safety. But in our dime package, he became the third safety.
Doug Farmer is next.
Brian, with Chris sidelined and Lorenzo taking those kickoff returns, he also got a little bit more involved in the offense. Was that something that he just got momentum going because he knew he was going to be involved anyway on kickoffs, or was that something that came in the idle
No,
week?
it's been gradually coming, and we felt like he's a guy that has earned his opportunities when he's in there. He's made plays for us. So, yeah, I think it's just been the natural evolution of his opportunities coming to him and making plays. He's got a burst. He's a guy that we really like on the field. Yeah.
Patrick Engel is next.
Brian, when you look at your quarterback play tonight, what do you feel like you found there, and whether it's something that feels sustainable going forward or just a rhythm with those guys from
Yeah, so listen, here's what we know, right? We've got an experienced guy that's accurate throwing the football. He's got a live arm. He can make a lot of throws. You saw the throws he makes. He's not afraid to put the ball in tight windows. He can see the field very well. What we needed to do as coaches is we needed to put him in the position that makes him feel the most comfortable. And it's better that he doesn't have a structured offense that slows him down. We need to put him in a shotgun. I know that sounds crazy because he kind of grew up with, much more of a direct snap play action, but it's not the best version. At least that's what we felt. And so when we self-scouted and we went through the bye week, we spent most of our time putting the offense together with Jack being in much more of a tempoed offensive structure, and then fitting in Buckner where we felt like we would get matchups with defensive personnel. So, yeah, we think it's extremely sustainable based upon the body of work through 4 quarters. I think if we were sputtering again, and maybe we would look at it and go, okay, this is just going to be trying to put this thing together, but we feel pretty good after today.
And then Tyler, overall, how much is his grasp of the playbook grown, or how much more from, say, week 1 to now is he comfortable running? And you guys
Well, if you take the snippets of where we put him in the game, they were very big parts of the game. Now, that guy's on the sideline. It's cool out. It's 40s, and he's standing on the sideline. And we have confidence to put him in the ball game in those crucial situations. So I think that answers where we feel like he fits, and we trust him.
John Bryce is next.
Brian, back here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Specifically, you talked about learning some things about your team tonight, but after USC cuts it to a one-possession game late there, your offense goes 8 plays, 75 yards, takes 4 minutes off the clock. What do you learn in that setting from your offense, and then conversely your defense then closed out the game with a turnover?
Yeah, I think it was all the things that I had mentioned earlier, right? 5 guys playing together, the ability to run the football when you needed to, a quarterback that was going to still continue to push the ball into some tight windows. They were playing some man coverage. We made some big throws in some tight windows. So I think it was all of that coming together in those last, what I call response drives, 2 touchdowns that they made at USC that we had to come back and respond. So we knew that this is a gritty team, right? They did that at Tech, right? But what we needed to see is how this thing was all coming together as one, and tonight was a better indication of how that comes together as one.
And then a little bit bigger picture on coming together. That's 4 in a row versus USC, and I think it had been
7 out of 10.
Yeah, that too.
I don't keep count, but Katie told me.
But that's the best stretch for Notre Dame, either one, since 83 to 93. What do you think that says about the stability and the trajectory of your program?
Yeah, I mean, look, you guys know that I'm not much for talking in terms of, what it means, other than we've been well prepared. Our kids want to succeed, and look, we take this game really serious. Obviously, it starts at the top. This is an important game, and we bring that importance into the building when it's time to get ready for USC. It's really important, and so we take it as such.
Adam Rittenberg is next.
Yeah, Brian, right? I'm just curious. Have you done that with a quarterback later in his career? Basically, he's played a certain way for years and years, and you get him to basically play a different style. Has that happened with you before?
I had it with Tony Pike at Cincinnati. He was a traditional drop back player. Kent Smith at Central Michigan, similar. He was playing for Mike DeBoer in a very 2 tight end, 3 tight end oriented offense, and we put him in a spread offense. You know, I like guys that, you know, have accuracy in throwing the football and see the field. And he's got accuracy and he can see the field. So it was just kind of trying to find what we felt like was his niche. And, you know, we've seen enough snapshots of what it was. And look, this is one game, but it was a good snapshot of what we think he can be the rest of the year for us.
And your defense, the first 3 quarters, what was key to them keeping USC out of the end zone, even though they moved the ball on you guys?
Yeah, so it's a good question. We didn't fall for a double move, which we did, you know, late in the third quarter, which is crazy. The emphasis was, you know, if Drake's going to catch his balls, which he did. He had 13 receptions before the double move. He hadn't impacted the game because we kept him in front of us. So it was not to fall for double moves and not give up any big plays. Unfortunately, later in the game, we gave up a couple of big plays.
Pete Sampson is next.
I'm going to drill down a little bit on the offensive line. Kyron Williams, I think it was a 38-yard run. Patterson, Christopher kind of double teamed. You sort of see a little bit of like, this is how you play together.
Yeah.
Like, where was the line better tonight than maybe it's been?
So I'll go back to, I think I talked about this a little bit more with bigger bodies, with Christophic. I think there's a sense there with Patterson. He's out to the second level a lot more because there's a little bit more control at the line of scrimmage, and it's allowing him to get up to that second level a little bit more. There was a little bit more work where he was grinding at the line of scrimmage to try to control a shade. He's now getting a lot more help at the line of scrimmage. We're bigger, and I just think we're now developing a little bit more continuity with the 5 of those guys.
When you were sort of self-scouting and you got to where you were with Cone tonight, like, was there a point, do you remember sort of conferencing with Tommy Rees and being like, okay, what do you think about going this direction? Or like, what sort of triggered that?
So we had no glaring, there was nothing glaring in terms of what we were doing that was giving any tendencies other than we were in a direct snap or we were in predictable third down situations. So we wanted to get out of the predictable situations with Jack. So that was part of the self-scouting that allowed us to start thinking about, let's throw it on first down, let's be a little bit more unpredictable with them, and hence that came through the self-scouting, is that we were maybe a little bit too predictable. Run, throw on third. Okay, pin your ears back, go get Jack Cohn.
And do you think that the sort of the trial and error in that aspect was sort of necessary to get to this point with Jack?
I mean, I would have liked to have been smarter and not have had to go through all this. But I think at the end of the day, Pete, look, we didn't have him here. We didn't know really until we played games. Like if we had 3-4 exhibition games, maybe we could have figured it out. But I think we really needed games to figure out what his sweet spot was.
And we'll finish up with Angelo DiCarlo.
Coach, when you say the prognosis on Kyle is good, does that mean there's a shot for next week?
Oh, yeah, he's up moving. I'm not going to tell you it's 100% sure, but they felt like if he was moving around with the kind of injury he had today, things looked pretty good.
And I know you're not in charge of ticketing and marketing, but your thoughts on the atmosphere tonight?
Well, I'm glad you said that. I thought the atmosphere was outstanding, and I don't know what the ticketing situation was because that's not my job, nor is the marketing. But I like the fact that the lights came back on after they went off. That's kind of all I would say about that.
Thanks, Coach.
How's everybody doing? Sit this right here.